Even though the sack of presents was really, really, really big, and the elves were really, really, really small. Whoa, 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 whoa. It just said that the sack was really, really...
It's Drewski McGillicuddy's Found on Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy, and I know it's been a couple days since I made a video, but hey, I've been celebrating Christmas, and I figured I'd show you some of the gifts I got and whatnot, starting with this fancy Ric Flair shirt. Woo! Or something, I don't know. But yeah, woo! It's Ric Flair, everybody. I'll show you a couple of the things. I got Sarah, you don't need to see everything, just the stuff that I thought that you might find interesting. I got her these fancy slippers from Hot Topic. They got the shining pattern from the shining carpet, so now she can walk on our floor and get dog hair and cat hair all over him. And then I got her this fancy little Deadpool, and he's dressed up like Bob Ross. I mean, who wouldn't want a fancy little Deadpool dressed up like Bob Ross? But it's a keychain. Like the whole time I had it, I didn't realize that it was a keychain until I went to wrap it, and I was like, oh, hey, this is a keychain. That's pretty cool, right? And then I had got her, because she's a big old Queen fan. I mean, I like a couple Queen songs, but I'm not as big of a fan as she is. So I got her this fancy Queen, that big, giant, scary robot. What's the name of that album?
News of the World.
News of the World. Some of you might remember this as the album cover that scared Stewie on Family Guy. So yeah, I got her that. And then I got these fancy records. Figure who doesn't need some Andy Gibb shadow dancing? Because as far as I remember, that's pretty decent song, even though it's not necessarily a genre of music that I'm particular to. But hey, a good song's a good song, regardless of what genre of music it may or may not come from. Also, I got her Lionel Richie. What album is that? Can't Slow Down, and it's got such classics as All Night Long, All Night, and Penny Lover, and what's up? Hello, is it me you're looking for? I mean, who doesn't fucking love some Lionel Richie? All right, and then I got her this fancy thing. I should have got it from the regular site, but luckily, the third time was a charm, because the first time I ordered it off of Amazon, it arrived and it was broken. And then I sent it back, and I thought, oh my God, they sent me back the same one, but it was broken in a different spot. It came from a different vendor. This one came, and it was flawless. And it's Geoffrey Starr's Blue Blood palette, because you know she's trying to practice her beauty regimen. And look at all those fancy colors. Oh, don't look at the mirror, but look at the fancy colors that includes. And it's got these fancy little shapes in it. So, you know, and then the next time I want to do some drag, you know, I'll have a quality product that I can put on myself.
No, I'll put it on you. You ain't touching it.
All right, now this is some stuff that I have bought myself because, you know, sometimes when I'm going shopping for Christmas presents, I like to buy stuff for myself because I'm greedy. Had to have this fancy 2-pack of the Star Trek movies for $5. I'm not going to pass that up for $5. I mean, I already got the first one, but now I can take that first one and trade it for other stuff that I don't have. And now I got 2 of them, and I haven't even seen the second one because I keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. But I thoroughly enjoyed the first Star Trek. It's what, you know, kind of got me hip to J.J. Abrams, or was it Super 8? I can't remember, but this was one of the first, you know, big J.J. Abrams spectacles that, you know, really put the guy on the map to let him take over Star Wars and ruin it or make it better or just, you know, do a half-assed decent job. I don't know. I like The Force Awakens, but we're not here to talk about Star Wars. I was going to go see it. Anyway, Animal House with John Belushi back before he died. I don't remember ever really being able to get into this movie for some reason. I know that's probably a goddamn sin or something like that. Just never really got into it as a kid or a teenager because my dad used to watch this movie constantly. and it just wasn't my thing. But I think I'll watch it as an adult and see if my opinion has changed in the slightest. Also, as an adult, since I've never seen any of these movies except for, what do you call them? What are they called? The reboots? I saw the reboots. But I haven't seen the original, and I got the Legacy Collection that includes, 5 movies for $5 on Blu-ray. That includes Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, and Battle for Planet of the Apes. And it's funny because these movies go rated G, rated G, rated G, PG for Conquest, and then back to G. Anyway. Oh, I forgot. I did buy this for the secretary. She almost forgot. She just handed it to me. I got her the Criterion for Princess Bride. She already had it on Blu-ray, but it wasn't the Criterion. And if it wasn't the Criterion, it wasn't good enough. She finally got me to sit down and watch this, even though I remember watching bits and pieces of it when I was a kid, and I never reviewed it because I was intimidated by it. I said, you know what? I gotta watch this again. I gotta get my thoughts collected better than I had them that day. I don't even worry about it. But, yeah, the Princess Bride Criterion. I also like it because it's like a little storybook. It's like, you know, those little gold seal books that you used to get when you was a little feller. Anyway, I picked up Scarface for $10, steelbook at Big Lots. It's the limited edition. Because there was one that had like a weird, different cover. It was a steelbook. It was a different cover. They had half-price books. But I was like, I don't want to pay $10 at this time, so I ended up paying $10 for it brand new. Still got the shrink wrap on it, and I actually cannot wait to get into it. I haven't watched this since DVD. It's been several years since I sat down and watched this mob epic. Would you call it a mob? I guess it's a mob. He's a coke kingpin. I mean, shit. This was, I don't know, the talk of the town when I was 14. So I kind of count this as one combined gift because we've got the creature from the Black Lagoon. He's a little bendable guy. He's a bendable guy, and he'll go with the rest of my Universal Monster stuff that you can't see because it's up there, over there. One of these days, I'll get a decent shelving system. We'll get that set up, and you can look at all my stuff. And we got Frankenstein, because, you know, you got to collect them all, right? You know, so while you're collecting Frankenstein, you can collect the Wolfman, and then you got Dracula, and that's all 4. I collected all 4 of them. I didn't want to open them until you guys got to see them in their fancy packaging. But yeah, I'm definitely going to open these and put them up there with, I can't remember if they came from Burger King or McDonald's, but I got the Universal Monsters that came in like one of the kids' meals toys back in the 90s. Anyway, then she got me this fancy little thing right here. It's this little Freddy figure. Oh, God. And look, he's got little hands. If you look real close, they've got syringes on the tips, like in part 3. So that's cute. I mean, he's just so tiny. He's just a little tiny guy. But there's also a Jason, a Chucky, and a Pennywise, which I don't see why there's not a Michael and a Leatherface. But yeah, maybe I should collect all of these guys. Just look how cute he is. He's just so goddamn cute. Like, I'm half tempted to just get that tattoo because it's just adorable. And I had seen this in a group and thought to myself, I have to have that. So this is like my grand finale because I can't show you the other stuff. But look at that! Huh? Yeah. Isn't it beautiful? That's the car from the very first Nightmare on Elm Street, the very end of the movie, when you think everything's fine and dandy and they're off to school, and then it turns out, nope, you're still dreaming. Which, you know, a lot of people kind of don't like that ending. They wish it would have just ended. I kind of like it. I don't have a problem with the last part either. The blow-up doll being sucked through the hole. One of these days we'll sit down and we'll review A Nightmare on Elm Street. And I'll put a lot of something into it. Fucking Jesus Christ. Anyway, there's one last thing I want to show you. And this is just something random that I picked up right before Christmas because I had decided to go back to delivering pizzas while I'm waiting to go back to cutting grass and whatnot. And on my first night, I've been actually doing really good. Like, you know, people were tipping all kinds of crazy money on Christmas because I worked on Christmas because I figured, what the hell? Secretary took a nap. I decided to drive around and look at the Christmas lights, or lack thereof. What's the deal, everybody? As a matter of fact, look at this shit. Like, my street is dark as hell. And it's like, it's not just my street. There's a lot of streets that, maybe one house. There's some streets, there's no lights. Like, what the hell's the matter with you people? Are you Jewish? Is that anti-Semitic? That's all right, don't worry about that. I got Batman. I got this big, giant Batman. And it was only, what? $8. $8 for this big, giant Batman. And I had to have him. One of these days, I'm going to find like a little stool for him to stand on. And he can just stand there in the background and give you guys some kind of focal point. I don't know. I see all these other YouTubers having these fancy backgrounds, and here I am with these busted-ass movie shelves from the Goodwill sitting in front of this dinky-ass curtain. I don't know. One of these days, I'll get it all figured out. I'll get better at this. I'll start writing stuff down. I'll tell jokes. I'll make you laugh. I don't know. I'll do something eventually that's better than what I've been doing. All right? But until then, like this video, comment below, and let me know what do you think of these fancy gifts. Let me know what you think of these fancy gifts that I had gotten, and let me know what you got for Christmas. Because, we can have a Christmas conversation. I'm sorry that I didn't get around to reviewing more Christmas movies for you. Yeah, just like the video if you would. Comment below. There's all these different things you can do. I'd appreciate if you would do them. And then be on the lookout for my greatest horror movies of the decade. Because I already filmed it once, wasn't happy with it, deleted the whole thing, and then called Chad and said, hey man, I need you to come over here and help me out with this. And if he doesn't hurry the fuck up, I'm just going to do it without him. Anyway, get the hell out. What are you doing over there?